Ninth century, the Viking Age. In long Scandinavian houses, people drink Mjød, a honey beverage that legends call a gift from Odin himself. Finds from Oseberg and Birka confirm. Honey was brewed in cauldrons with herbs gathered right from the surrounding forest. The key ingredient is wild summer honey. Bees live in tree hollows, and people collect honey during the warmest season. Up to 80% sugars, perfect for fermentation. Add clean spring or river water, and nature does the rest. Only northern plants, heather for sweetness, yarrow for a touch of bitterness, juniper to keep the drink from spoiling. All local, all simple, all Viking. Water is heated in a clay or bronze cauldron. Honey, herbs in a small cloth bag, boiling, filtering. And the wild yeast begins its work. Strength around 5 to 12%. Just right for northern feasts. The drink is cooled, poured into a wooden barrel or a leather pouch. 3 to 7 days in a cool place, and Mjød is ready. Cauldrons were scrubbed with ash, a natural disinfectant to keep everything clean and safe. This drink is for feasts, for toasts, for the gods. In the poetic Edda, Odin steals the mead of poetry, the source of wisdom and inspiration. Archaeologists find traces of it in 70% of elite burials. Mjød isn't magic, it's survival technology of the north. The taste of 9th century Scandinavia. Honey, smoke, and the forest all around. The Viking Age, 9th to 11th century. The boar was the centerpiece of winter feasts. Archaeologists in Trelleborg found its bones in 60% of refuse pits. Hunting was a man's ritual, and boar meat, a symbol of strength, courage, and fertility. The ingredients were simple and local. Wild amber honey from hollow trees, sea salt and large coastal crystals, juniper branches for smoke and aroma, a touch of barley malt for gentle sweetness. All of it discovered in Birka and Hidibi. It started with a pit about 60 centimeters deep, hot stones at the bottom. The ham was rubbed with salt and scored with a knife. In a bronze cauldron, honey and malt were gently heated into a rich glaze, brushed over the meat, layer after layer, with a horsehair brush. The meat was laid on stones, covered with coals, wrapped in cabbage leaves for moisture, and sealed with turf. Slow roasted for about 6 hours at 120 to 150 degrees Celsius. The honey caramelized into a crisp golden crust, while juniper filled it with smoky flavor. 9th century, the Viking Age. In long Scandinavian houses, people drink Mjød, a honey beverage that legends call a gift from Odin himself. Finds from Oseberg and Birka confirm. Honey was brewed in cauldrons with herbs gathered right from the surrounding forest.
To the gods and the hunt! Drink deep, friends! Ha.
May your ale be strong and your enemies weak.
Score!
Coastal Scandinavia in the Viking Age. Life depended on the sea every single day. Archaeologists in Hidibi found seaweed in half of all kitchen refuse pits. It was eaten often. Collecting it was women's work during low tide right at the shoreline. Ingredients came straight from the fjord. Fresh cod cut into chunks 5 to 7 centimeters thick. Brown seaweed washed and sliced into ribbons. Carrot and turnip, diced small. Sea salt, coarse. And the water, taken directly from the sea. Root vegetables are added. 15 more minutes until tender. Seaweed releases its natural gel. The soup thickens and becomes richer. The steam smells of iodine, and foam is skimmed with a wooden spoon. The color, gray-green with bright orange sparks of carrot. The hot soup is served in clay bowls after sailing. In the saga of Egil, it is the food of seafarers and warriors. Remains of sea plants appear in 70% of coastal homes. This wasn't ritual, it was survival. The true taste of Scandinavia: salt, iodine, and the wind from the ocean. Vikings, 9th-10th century. Barley fed families every day. In Burka, storage pits show almost all grain was barley. Women harvested it at sunrise, when the fields were still cool and quiet. Ingredients come straight from the fields. Barley flour, rough, gray, full of life. Flax, hemp, and poppy seeds, little treasures for crunch. Cool spring water. A pinch of sea salt, bright crystals of flavor. Mixed in a clay bowl: flour, water, salt. Sticky dough, dotted with shiny little seeds. Then shaped into flat rounds, palm-sized. A hot stone above the coals. Time to rise and live. Baked 3 to 5 minutes. Dough puffs up, seeds crackle happily. The crust turns golden, smelling of fields and smoke. The patterns left on the stone look almost like runes. They break the bread by hand. It's hot, soft inside, and the steam bursts out like a tiny happy sigh. This simple piece goes with everything: salty coastal fish, smoked meat after the hunt, and wild honey gathered from forest hives. At feasts, it's passed in a circle, a sign of friendship and peace. On journeys, it becomes a trusted source of strength for long roads and stormy seas.